Fresh off the latest Commander ban and restricted announcement, the MTG community is ablaze with chatter about what Wizards got right, what they got wrong, and why they're quitting Magic for the 10th time this year. We're going to take a look at what the expectations were leading up to the announcement, what was reasonable, and why I think Wizards didn't act on those expectations one way or another. But first, stop for a moment and get subscribed to catch more Magic content from me in the future. Obviously, the biggest clamoring we heard before the announcement was that Wizards would reverse the final decision the Commander Rules Committee made by banning Jewel Lotus, Dockside Extortionist, and Mana Crypt. The textured foil version of the Jewel Lotus from Commander Masters climbed from the mid 300s in price all the way to sales at 600 before the ban announcement. Pretty good deal if you'd bought one after his ban for under $200 and passed it off to someone with high hopes in the last week. Almost every version of Jewel Lotus is up almost 100% in price leading up to the ban announcement. That's a lot of people either trying to sell theirs or just buying one after they heard from their mother's husband's father, John Wizard, that it is definitely getting unbanned and now is the right time to buy. And the same can be said for the other cards involved. People were discussing how Primeval Titans sold leading up to the announcement as well, and probably every other card banned in Commander that enough people think was fun and should be unbanned. The real change in the announcement that I haven't found someone angry about yet was banning Lutri as a companion just so it could be unbanned as a commander or to be included in the 99. Seeing Gavin Verhey write in the announcement about how Wizards and likely the Rules Committee before them didn't want to start a new list just for ban as a companion, even though they didn't have any other contenders besides Lutri. So somehow this change is a very bold move. Introducing a list is something the creators consider to be a very dangerous thing to do. Other cards could have received this treatment in other formats. Lurrus is a card that people still very much want to play with, but stays banned because everything turns into how to beat Lurrus or Lurrus builds. Lutri's banning as a companion is not, however, because he is overpowered or has to be dealt with immediately, because it becomes an auto-include in blue-red decks, that kind of homogeny Wizards wants to push the game away from. The other change was the unbanning of Biorhythm, a card with the potential to just immediately end the game. This debate really becomes about how much mana should ending the game cost. One example offered up was Tooth and Nail. For just 9 mana, you can play any 2-creature combo that ends the game. So is Biorhythm for 8 mana, which might only end the game, if no one has a flash creature or the board is completely empty, really so unstoppable? Also just for 8 mana, you can play Insurrection, and also have to wait until there's an appropriate board state to play your I Win card. Only tournaments will tell. If Biorhythm is suddenly in the top of everyone, then maybe it was a mistake. But I think for most people playing at home or in their local store, one guy with Biorhythm every now and then won't be too much of an issue. The only guy that should be mad about Biorhythm will be the player on his right. How do you protect yourself from the rest of the table if you know any board wipe you cast loses the game for everyone else immediately? So let's actually set up that round table. How much mana should be required to end the game, and then we'll circle back to Biorhythm and see if it costs enough. There's also the two incredibly unfun cards to play against that they discuss on why they are also considered for unbanning. I think there should be a ballot limit like the Baseball Hall of Fame, but for staying banned forever. And after 15 years about talking about unbanning, or why it shouldn't just be banned forever, delete it and burn all the cards. Because I don't know why people considered unbanning Sundering Titan. Maybe because there are tons of dual lands without basic types that perhaps in the bracket Sundering Titan belongs in, it won't have enough targets to really disrupt everyone's mana base. But why risk it? Commander is already the home of every player who's given up on competitive play, and that plays out that self-loathing in their deck. Why let them have access to this card? The other outlier was Iona, Shield of Emeria. Why does anyone want to play with this card? It makes me wonder if this card was being considered for so long that that's how Painter Server ended up as part of the special guest in Lore when Eclipsed. This is a card that can be truly unfun to play against. It has a possibility to lock out monocolored and sometimes dual colored players. It can easily be used as a petty kingmaker, and it's just kind of stinky. This is why it's good for multiple people to make these decisions, though we can keep this card in the bin. They even considered unbanning Grizzlebrand, another 8 mana card that is more of a reanimation target, but still for 8 mana and 7 life, give yourself enough resources to effectively win the game unless the rest of the table gangs up on you. Oh, and there's a flying 7/7 lifelinker left over. The only cards mentioned for potential banning were Thassa's Oracle and Rhystic Study, neither of which is format warping or at a play percentage to warrant more attention. Dual mana also won't be touched for now. The last announcement from the team was that they plan to do one of these per year, but if something significant happens in the format, then they will have an additional announcement. They also won't always be timed with the announcements for the other formats. This timing was just a coincidence. So unless they print an absolute menace in the next few sets, we probably won't hear anything else this year. Or it's possible some currently unknown combo takes over and has enough meta share to warrant a ban. Was all of this good though? To me, the only disappointed people were card speculators, probably people who had gone out when Commander Masters was launched just to collect a rare Jeweled Lotus. All the rampant speculation right before a ban window is fun to monitor and talk about, but to decide that the bans were or weren't good because of someone's financial speculation shouldn't happen. Truly, we should only care if the format is fun and not overrun by a specific deck. And still, buying and selling Magic cards is a lot of fun, so I hope those guys at least enjoyed the hype while it lasted. That's all for this video. Thanks for sticking around this far, and please get subscribed if you haven't already to see more card slinging in the future. Take care.